Hey guys, it's Cameron here with Emerson Property Management. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable portfolio in about 2 years, now manage that portfolio. Today guys, I want to talk about property management softwares. So whether you have 1 unit or 100, if you have 100, I hope you're handing that over, or that's probably your full-time job. But if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the average landlord in the US has between 2 and 3 houses. So if you have just a couple, something that'll help you out immensely is a property management software. Now, I'm, I guess, a millennial or in that age group. If you're older than us, in your 40s, 50s managing, you might be doing stuff, going to pick up rent, send notices to vacate in handwriting or God knows what. There are some things that property management systems can do to save you a significant amount of time. Now, if you're a millennial and you're like, man, I just want to optimize and automate as much as I can, you got to be careful with some of that, but a good property management system will really help you do that. Now, I've got another video I talk about why you should be using a property management software. I think that's up here or here, but I just want to talk about a few options you could have, especially if you only have, a few properties. So Buildium is what we use. There are pros and cons about every system. There are things I love about Buildium, things I hate about it. It doesn't matter what software you use, there's no perfect software. So whatever you use, stick with it at least for an extended period of time. There's always going to be somebody coming out with a new bell or whistle, so don't get distracted by that. It really only has to do a few things on your property management software to help out. One of those is specifically collect and rent, doing maintenance. There's a couple other little odds and ends, but most of these options I'm going to share with you are free or darn near free. So if you are managing a couple properties yourself, these are some options you can use, and I think will be immensely beneficial for you and help you save time and money, and maybe never have to hand it over to management. Maybe you can handle this and you find that property management software makes it a breeze. You handle your management until these things are paid off, and you do some cash out refinances or sell it, and then live happily ever after. So let's get into this. These are in no particular order. I do not endorse any of these. I have not used any of these. So these are just options that I've researched a little bit and seem to, rise to the top. So I'm not getting paid to say any of this. These are just options that you can have. So PM software options. Avail is one. Stessa, Inago, Apartments.com, which apparently is now Cozy, Tenant Cloud, Rentler, Rent Ready, Rent Tech Direct, and Hunt. Interesting name. So those are your I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are your 9 options. There are 100 different ones, but these are damn near free. If they're not free, they're damn near free. They're very, very cost prohibitive or cost effective. When you guys are looking at these softwares, there's a couple things I would stress. One, make sure, like I said earlier, that it will collect rent. Nothing is more frustrating than trying to collect rent or getting a bunch of Zelle payments. Before I turned stuff over, I was getting Zelle payments. And what happens when you have a property or two and they're both $1,200 or $1,300 a month? You have absolutely no idea who paid what. So especially if you're getting multiple of those or you're getting checks and you got to make sure you have the name on it. You're like, I've never seen this tenant's name. They're not on the lease, blah, blah, blah. So make sure it can collect rent. Make sure that it puts automated late fees on their ledger. That is going to save, I'm telling you guys, that right there, that one little piece, automating late fees, will pay for that software. Even if it's $20 or $30 a month, automating late fees will pay the software, because if in Texas you have to give a 2-day grace period, so due on the 1st, late on the 2nd, but the first late fee's on the 4th. If they pay on the 4th in the morning and you haven't gotten up yet to slap a late fee on their ledger, you're not going to bother them for $50, $25, $100, whatever the late fee is. So you just forget about it. If you have a property management software that automatically does that, it's already on their ledger. So for them to pay, they know, they see it already on there. They're $1,200 plus their $50 late fee. So that is a huge thing. Another bonus is if it can handle some maintenance requests or communications for you, that would also be super helpful. So, hey, don't text me or call me in the middle of the night when stuff's happening. Rather, go through this system, and then that system can route to you or maybe your maintenance guy or somebody that you might want to have on call to handle some emergencies. So, again, I'm not getting paid for any of this. This is just honestly a handful of names that I have found, to be popular. I've never used any of these, but those, make sure whatever system you go with that you use. And again, please, please, please don't always chase the shiny object. I've stuck with Buildium since we started. There are things that I know Appfolio and some of those other folks do that are great. And there are things that Buildium does right now that are great that Appfolio doesn't. Don't chase the shiny objects. Please, please, please stick with the system, get into something, use it, make sure it's fit for purpose. If it's not doing the basic things you need to get a new system. But as long as it's doing those basic things, if it doesn't have a dashboard or report you like, move on. Now, the last thing I'll say, Cameron, why not just use Buildium? Buildium has a 50 unit minimum. Appfolio has a 50 unit minimum. A lot of the bigger property management softwares that give you all sorts of stuff have a minimum. So it really doesn't make sense for you to pay $200 or $300 a month for a property management software when you only have 2 or 3 or 4 units. That's going to be eating up 15 to 30% of your cash every month, your cash flow. So don't do that. Get one of these free or damn near free softwares. Nothing's perfect. Stick with it for a while. Everybody's got their quirks. And then when you build up a bigger portfolio, you can either hand that over or go up to one of these other softwares. Like I said, Buildium, Appfolio, there's umpteen other ones that are larger. And again, I'm not endorsing any of them. We use Buildium. They don't pay me to say that. It's just the one we've used. So I hope that was helpful. Good luck in self-management. A good property management software will save you a lot of money. And I'll see y'all next week.